on November 10th. The Marine Corps is going to be 245 years old. On November 11th, we celebrate Veterans Day for all the branches. In honor of Veterans Day, we're going to kind of just wrap up with Stacy. Will give you first choice, I guess, with your brother and your father.
Yeah, I'd like to just thank all the past and present active duty reservists that are serving, the future as well. Like we talked about, it's a lot of sacrifices of the families. So, my dad did 30 years in the Navy. He was a Master Chief. And you kind of, I think I kind of learned that hard life, but I don't know how he did it. I'm certainly not going to do it. So mad props to, and a special thanks to the people who continue to do it and people who continue to do it with families. I was single going through those 3 deployments, and I couldn't imagine having, a husband and children during all that time away. So thank you to all the veterans who make that sacrifice and live that hard life.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate, thanks for everyone that has ever served. My father is a veteran. My brother is active duty still. Both grandfathers are veterans, numerous other cousins and stuff. So I do come from a military-minded family. And in all the different roles that I know that everybody has had, nobody what was an outstanding hero or anything like that. They just did their job, and looking back, that they even took pride in that. So, I can't believe that I actually might say this, but I look back and I thank everybody that even just, was our paperwork person, or was our supplier, or the cook, or every single role in the military has a valuable part, as, and as much as people might not recognize it or realize that, every cog in the machine has a reason for operating. So, my thanks, again, goes out to every single veteran that served in any capacity, because you made the military what it is, and you made it special.
I really appreciate all my friends, all my family that have served and are serving. I'm actually the only one from my immediate family that's actually ever just enlisted off of their own accord. So I don't have the tradition within my family, but I'd like to call all the people that I serve with part of my family, and many of them have great traditions. Many people that I went to college with have also served in ROTC. Would also like to mention the ones that we've lost along the way. I think if you're in this profession, you definitely cross paths, and that's always sad. So I'm thinking of those families that have lost a loved one. And then I'd like to thank all the support mainly. America is one of the unique places that people really respect the military. When I was at Shepherd, we had the Italians, and they were just blown away with all the support that we got, whereas what they've told me is in Italy, they don't think of you as anything different than anybody else in their country. So I'd really like to thank all the civilians for the continued support, helping out what we do. And then also like to thank my wife for supporting me and being okay with me leaving for the next couple of months.
Jamie, I feel like your wife might be in the room. So again, thank you, Jamie's wife.
Jamie's wife, we're sorry, we're keeping it for dinner.
So I'll give sort of a couple by name shout outs. So there were 3 people who were really influential to me when I was at Stafford and starting to think about the military, specifically the Marine Corps. Those guys were Biff Cornelius, Chris Clark, and Chuck Stern. So Biff was a year ahead of me, and he became an artillery officer in the Marine Corps. And then Chris and Chuck were enlisted guys, infantrymen and reconnaissance men, who fought in some of the toughest battles that we fought in Iraq. And so their example, their humility, their leadership really meant a lot to me. I have to say, to all it's mind-boggling to me that I've been in 6 years now, and I've got so many people now who were in for 4 years and are gone, and they're veterans. But I've learned just an incredible amount, from the mentors and leaders that I've had, the peers that I came in with, who have since separated, but also probably most importantly, the junior Marines who, put their trust and faith in me to make the right decisions, to employ them in a way that was going to accomplish the mission and take care of their well-being. And so for those guys, there's just eternal gratitude. And hey, since we're at Anderson, I can give a shout out to our organizational behavior professor this year for hybrid, Professor John Ullman.
Right.
Is an Air Force officer as well. And I think he did 8-10 years or so, taught at the academy, and then came out. And so it's tremendous to see veterans continuing to lead and serve and develop the next generation of leaders. So I'm just so grateful for all those types of people. And I'll also give a shout out. Marines, we've got a very particular sort of culture and attitude, and a part of that is, poking fun at the rest of the services, right? And so, at the end of the day, it's one team, one fight, and I think as Bob said, there are just everyone plays their role, and there's something that each of the services do, each component of the service does, and every single individual does to advance the overall mission of the United States military. So I'm so grateful for all those people who have raised their right hand, sworn the oath, and then done their service. So it's been an incredible group to be a part of.
Yeah, I don't know if you know that, a little bit of educational history, but UCLA is originally was a land grant college, and the land grant system was set up by Abraham Lincoln at a really, really down part of the Civil War, where it was just not even clear that the Union was going to hold. And in that really darkest hour depth of the thing, he had the foresight to sign the legislation that became the land grant system. So Alabama, UCLA, Texas A&M. Oh, what? Oh, good cue. But this is me. So I was in the Corps of Cadets. This is May of 1991. This is the final review. So Sean Boyd was in the service. Chris Cass was in the service. Dylan Stafford did not, but all his good friends did. Brady was an F-16 pilot. Eric Fagenbush, John Harlan, Jeff and Umberto. We three we did not pursue contracts, but these other 5 did. And then the guys who are not in this picture, Joel had already dropped out and become a Marine. He didn't want to take his money anymore. He enlisted in the Marines. And then our other buddy, James, left Texas A&M and actually went to West Point. So these are the guys that I went to college with. And there are 12 texts on my phone here. We still have a text chain that just goes and goes and goes. The 12, these are my best friends for life. And I got them out of, it was a preparatory military. It wasn't the actual military for me, but it was for 7 of the 10 of us. So, I just want to say thanks to all of my friends who've given their lives to being part of the military. And thanks for your words and appreciation for everybody who's been a veteran in all of the branches of the United States military, because it is part of what makes America special. It's an opt-in, volunteer, by choice, highly ethical, highly integrated. It's a remarkable human entity, human organization. There's really not much that's ever been like the U.S. military. And you guys are the heart and soul of it. So thank you for your service.